So today let's start working on join, translate or rotate. So this is a very important feature and very useful feature as well, which will help us to make our modeling process easier. So let's understand how to do that. Now, the first basic is simple. So let's say I have a joint. I have a joint 0, 0 at the coordinate 0. Now, let's say if you look at the joint property, you can see the coordinates is at 0, 0. Now, if you want to translate, maybe let me create one more joint, maybe at 1 meter relative distance to this one. So I have two joints over here. Okay, I think I applied twice. Now, let me add a member. So I already defined a beam over here. So I will add a member between these two joints. Now I have a beam over here. Now let's say if I want to translate this beam at some locations. So I can do it either by changing the coordinates of the joint individually. So I can change this coordinate over here. So let's say I move it such that the coordinates become x1, y1. So I can move it like this. Now let's say I want to move everything together. So for that, what I can do, I can come to translate or rotate and select these joints, and let me move it to in x-axis 10. So now what happens is it got moved and I can see the coordinates. So now it got translated. See, this one got moved to x10 and this one is x11 by 1. Now let's say if I want to rotate it. For rotating it, it's easy. I just want to uh, move it. So this is in xy plane. Let me rotate it in xy plane itself. That would be about z axis. So I am telling I am going to rotate about z axis for an angle of 45 degree. Then I want to define my rotational origin. So here I want to rotate about this joint. So what I would say is, okay, so my rotational origin coordinate is x is equal to 10, and if I apply, this beam will be rotated. So the joint will be rotated along with the beam. So this is how we easily work with translation and rotate. So these are the basic things, but we can do much more things. Let's understand how to do that. So for that, what I would do is, let me create one more joint again. So here I am going to create a square piece. So here to create a square piece, what I can do, let's say this is the centroid of my joint. So I will create four coordinates. So first I will go is -2, -2. So so I want to give the reference joint. It will create a joint over here. Then I will change it to +2, +2 and -2. Now I have a few coordinates over here. Now I can easily connect it with a member. So I can easily connect it with a member like this. Okay, so I have a frame over here. Now let's say if I want to scale this frame. So how to scale this one? So to scale this one, so scaling usually works when better if the origin of rotation or scaling is at 0, 0, 0. So let me remove all these things. I am going to scale this one. So when I scale it, I can just say that, okay, scale in x and y by 2. So if I scale it, what happens is that one will become bigger. So if you look at the dimensions, earlier it was 4 meters, now it should be 8 meters. So this is how you can scale a member. Now let's say while scaling you want to retain the previous shape. So how to retain it? So that is a part of retention. So we want to go to this duplicate one. So let me revert back what we have done. So I will say, okay, duplicate one time. So if I do, what happens is the scaling will happen. It will not take the member along with it. So if you look at the new joins which was created, the scaling happened. It is not taking the member along with it. So if you want that member also to be taken along with it, what you can do is you can use the duplicate option, and if you click, you will have a duplication. So you will have a new set of frame retaining the old frame. Now let's say if you want some members to connect these particular joints where it got scaled, so you can do that as well. You can come over here, you can just define, okay, use the BM1 section or group to connect it. So what it will do is it will create the frame like this. So this is an interesting feature which you can use if you want to create a concentric type of frames. So this is a very interesting feature which you can do. Now you can do it multiple times as well. Let's say I want to take 2 copies. So instead of doing it one time, you just say 2. That means it will scale 2 times and it will retain all the steps. Sorry, it went to, okay, so if I click on this one, I don't want to scale this one. So if I'm putting duplicate 2, so it will scale. So this frame is 2 times of this frame, and this frame is 2 times of this frame. So that's how the scaling will happen. Now let me do one thing. So let me move. Let me come to this particular location. Maybe I will create a joint at a distance of 30 meters. Okay. Now I am going to create another square piece. So here, instead of creating a full square, what I would do is I will only create a quarter of it. So for that, what I am going to do is I will come over here. I will create a new joint. So let's say it's 4 minus 4 downward. Sorry, unmissed. Minus 4 downward. So next one is 4 and another one is 4. So I'm going to create a quarter of it. So I will come over here, connect it. Okay, now let's say I want to create that particular or complete that square. So what I can do is I can again use that function of our translate or rotate. So here what I am going to do is I am going to duplicate the joints. So for that I will select this one, then I will select about Z 90 degree. But very important thing, I want to select the rotational origin. So for that I will come over here. So this is my rotational origin. I want to say, okay, my rotational origin is 30, and if I click apply, it will rotate. If it will just rotate, I don't want just rotate, I want it to duplicate. So for that what I should do, I will come over here, go to duplicate existing joint. If I click, it will show an error called coincident joints not allowed. What happens is when I do this rotation or duplication, when this joint comes over here during the rotation, it is coinciding with this particular joint, so which is not a desirable result. So as a default, SACS doesn't allow that. To allow that, we need to activate this particular option. So then what happens? It will duplicate the joint. It will allow a coincident joint, but it will only having the joints coming over. But what I need is I don't want a duplication of the joint, and so for that what I can do, I can click reset and click apply. So now the duplication what happens, it will create a joint over here. But again, I just don't want the joints to come, I want the members also to come. So for that what I can do, I can do duplicate attach structural elements, then it will duplicate it over here. Now it duplicated one time, so I want to repeat it 3 times. For that what I can do, I can change this duplication to 3, and I can click apply. Why it's not coming? 1 minute. Uh, okay. So I didn't selected the three joints. That was the error. So if I select the three joints and if I click on duplicate existing joint three times, it will duplicate and it will create the member. So this is how you can easily create frames. Well, do so if it's a rectangle, this process won't be that easy. So for that, what you can do is you can utilize the option of mirroring. Let me show you how to do that. So to utilize the option of mirroring, I will again create a quarter of the member. So I will create a new joint at a location, let's say uh, 60. Now coming over here, what I would do is I will again add few joints. So I am going to create a rectangular frame. So for the rectangle frame, my total length I am going to do is 8 meters and the width is 3 meters. So for that, what I would do, I will come over here. So I will create -3. Let me see. Where this joint went. Okay. I'm going to create a joint about this particular joint, so we should be very careful when we work with it. So -3. Then what I'm going to do is I will create another one at 24, and then for shit, sorry, is here. Let me delete it. So here, what I would do is I will make few changes to these members. So I will add some extra internal members as well, so that it will make our things easier. So what I would do is along a line, I will say, okay, create one joint over here, create one joint over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I will connect the members. So maybe I will add immediately. Okay. Now here that rotation thing won't be good because this is a rectangle. So I can show you what happens if we do the rotate. So if I click on here, let me see what is my coordinate. Okay. So I will say, okay, it's 60. Then I will go for Z, 90. And if I go to duplicate and activate all these options, what happens is it won't come proper because this is not what I require. I want this to be actually a mirror type of thing. So for that, what I can do is I can come to this option. Here there is something called mirror image. So in the mirror image, what I can do is I can mirror these frames. So while mirroring these frames, what I want to do, I want to understand which plane, about which plane I should be mirroring. So my structure is in XY plane. I want to mirror about a plane which is in XZ. So I would say this is my XZ plane, and the Y coordinate here is 0. I can specify, okay, it's 0. Now let's see what happens if I do this. If I click on this one, it will just mirror without retaining the original. So I want to retain the original one as well. So for that, what I would do, I will come over here, duplicate. I can activate all these initial things what we have used, and I can click apply. So now what happens, it will mirror. Now I want to create a mirror image this side as well. So for that, what I can do, I can select all these joints, but I need to change something. I know I want to mirror about the YZ plane. So for the YZ plane, I can select, and X coordinate is still 60. So I will select 60. And if I click apply, it will mirror like this. So that's how you want to deal with the mirroring. So it can make your modeling process easier. Here, when we do the mirroring, only thing is we need to make sure our flow of member of the flow, that means the joint A, joint B for the through members is in the correct direction. So for that, what I can do, I can come to the member, select these members. Let's say I will select these members which I want to change. So I can click control, click all these members which I want to change, and I can change it accordingly. So if I click reverse joint, what it will do is it will reverse, so that the flow of beams for it will be better. Now if you want to add members, you can add members, delete members, so it all comes as part of extra. But this is the basics of modeling and the magic of working with the translate and rotate options. So I hope this was helpful, and we will see in the next video. Thank you.